But before it, let's not run away from the facts.
Yeah.
Uguti Chiefs
Yeah.
outplayed the Sundowns.
Yeah.
In the game. Let's not run away from the facts.
For
The Chiefs outplayed the Sundowns.
It depends on how you look at it.
If we look, it depends on how you look. Okay, so I
it
guess
depends on how you're watching the game and what was going through you.
no.
Hello and welcome to this exciting episode of the weDiski Preview Show Roundtable. My name is yours truly, Mr. E, and I promise you we're going to have a nice time in the studio here because I've got two faces of the weDiski Preview Show. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with our debutant today. His name is none other than Mr. Len. Mr. Len, welcome to your first show.
Sanbonan. We're back again tackling hot topics of South African football, how it affects us, and
Yeah.
Spong to our host today for inviting me. Let's have a great show.
Yes, most definitely. We're going to have a great show. And on my right, ladies and gentlemen, it's yours truly, uThisha. uThisha weDiski. Thisha weDiski, it's been long, my man. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
What's been happening?
You know how it is, Mr. You know how it is.
Yeah.
We're putting the facts there. We're voicing out our opinions.
Yeah.
Some people agree with us. Some people don't disagree.
Yeah.
But it's all part of football.
Yeah, most certainly.
It's all part of football. First round table, no Len.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me,
His
guys.
debut.
We're doing a show with
very
Len. Very knowledgeable guy. Very knowledgeable Len. We're looking forward to learn a lot from you. No?
And come to think of it, it's the first time that I'm having you on set.
Yes.
And for me, hey, as a recruit man, yeah, so today we're going to be looking at some of the hot topics, especially on officiating in South African football. Over the past 2 weeks, there's been a lot of drama. We saw Kaizer Chiefs playing against Mamelodi Sundowns, and Mamelodi Sundowns winning in controversial fashion. We also saw Orlando Pirates clinching the MTN 8 that went with the price of 10 million rand. They won against Stellenbosch. Also, in controversial fashion, I don't know whether you agree with me or not, but surely my two guests here will be able to tell us what actually transpired. We'll also look at the need for VAR in South African football. I think that's one of the biggest topics that we have out there on the football space. We'll also take a look at the rise of the underdogs. A lot of small teams are now big teams. They're now contesting for the championship. They also want to win trophies and a lot of competitions that are there. This is the growth of South African football. Please stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to be taking a look at the officiating of South African football, looking at the game between Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns.
Oh, Mo.
Yeah.
Mo. You forgot to mention Mo.
Aspelelang. Umo, what's supposed to be here? Last week, we promised you that we're going to have a panel of 4 people that included Umo, Ulen, and myself, and as well as uThisha weDiski. But Umo is not in the studio. I don't know if he's going to be joining us today, but hopefully we might do a substitution if it does come. If it doesn't come, it's going to be tough luck for him. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at our first topic.
Rasmus Højlund, thunderous. It's an absolute net buster.
You are still watching the weDiski Preview Show Roundtable as we take a look at some of the hottest topics that are on the football scene. And today, Thisha weDiski, let's start off the show with the officiating and officiating by the referees in the recent games. I think the two big games that we had in the last 2 weeks were Kaizer Chiefs Amakosi going head-to-head with Amasandawana. And then the other one was Orlando Pirates and Stellenbosch. What's your take on that?
Very sensitive topic there.
I like that.
Very sensitive. You know how it is, Mr. E. It's like a coin. There's a heads and there's a tails.
Yeah.
If it lands on tails, the heads, they scream. If it lands on tails,
Yeah.
Vice versa. You know, same thing with this officiating. You know how it went. Oh, by the way, to our viewers, if you haven't liked the video, go ahead and press the like button. But most importantly, if you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscription button.
Yeah.
Coming back to your question, Mr. E, we go back to the game. What was it? Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
Kaizer
Let's start
Chiefs.
off with the Kaizer Chiefs.
Kaizer Chiefs playing Mamelodi Sundowns
Yeah.
at FNB.
Yeah.
There's a goal that's been scored. Question arises.
Yeah.
Was Rivero
Offside
or onside?
Yeah.
To be fair, what you and I have, what the referee doesn't have,
Yeah.
we have VAR.
luxury
We
of
have a VAR.
our
We
own
can always
home-
go to the highlights
Yeah.
or to the replay
and check what
and check what actually happened.
Yeah.
Uref at the same time,
Yeah.
Uref only has a split second to make up a decision.
Yeah.
So
But
sometimes
if I may ask on that particular day at weDiski, that play, that pass went close to the sideline. They must have been there, a lineman to see and try and track that offside line. Surely he's the man who must have raised his flag to say that's an offside or that's not an offside.
look what happened. There's a linesman, like you say.
Yeah.
Did the linesman raise the flag?
No.
Didn't raise the flag, so
Yeah.
it means the
So
guy
he
is
didn't see
onside.
anything.
So he didn't say anything wrong. It means the guy is onside,
Yeah.
meaning Sundowns scored a legitimate goal.
Yeah.
If you go, you see what the problem, where the problem arises now is that when we go and we draw those lines,
Yeah.
I'm seeing some different.
I'm
seeing some different
weird.
lines.
So
So
I've seen Ribeiro like he was behind by about 3 or 4 meters.
So actually, it all boils down to who's drawing the
Yeah,
line.
it depends on
If you're a Chiefs fan,
intention.
if you're a Chiefs fan,
Yeah.
that was a definite
You would put him
offside.
near the penalty box.
And if you're a Sundowns fan, that's an onside.
Yeah.
But actually, if football wins, if we go to the laws of football, that's a clear goal.
Yeah.
You see what happens with all these laws being amended?
weDiski, let's get this correct and right out there. You are saying that was a clear goal.
I'm saying that is
you
a
stand
clear
with
goal.
the referees
I'm
that they were
saying-
spot on.
I'm saying with the referee. Yes,
Yeah.
it was very, very.
Yeah. Was a tight
Marginal,
call. Yeah.
marginal calls.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of calls, marginal calls. So, like I'm saying, actually, it all boils down to how are
Yeah.
you drawing your lines.
Yeah.
I don't want to be offside.
Yeah.
I think Alien,
Yeah.
who was clear offside,
Yeah.
but he wasn't interfering with
with
play.
the play.
So we
Yeah.
cannot count him. The guy that interfered with play,
Yeah.
the guy who actually played the ball, was onside. Hence, the goal stood.
Yeah.
But at first glance, when you
Yeah.
saw that,
Yeah.
remember we had to go to replays. How many replays? If you ask anyone,
Yeah, would have loved to move away the blame from the referees, but I know the Amakosi faithfuls, they don't think so. They think, uThisha weDiski, coming back to you, they think that was an offside. It wasn't supposed to stand. That goal was definitely not supposed to stand.
look, like again, I repeat, it's a marginal.
Yeah.
Marginal. And what does the law say? You give advantage to the attacking side,
Yeah.
of which is Sundowns was the attacking side
Yeah.
in this instance. Hence, we gave the goal.
Yeah.
Defenders now they need to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Somebody was supposed to be marking Ribeiro.
Yeah.
But they slept.
Yeah.
They slept on duty, and they were not marking.
I think that's where the problem
Ribeiro.
was. Who
So-
was supposed to be marking Rivera?
So
Who was
the-
on the left-hand side?
There was a problem. Who was
Yeah.
playing on the left? I think it was crossed.
Yeah.
What happens if you look at Ribeiro, where he actually got the ball? He got the ball on the line. They were not expecting that
Yeah.
Yes.
to be chipped in the middle
Yeah.
for the likes of Abonto
Yes.
or Abuzwane
Yeah.
to attack the ball.
Straight.
Because remember, the goals are in the center. So you expect the ball to be played in the center. And Sundowns was smart. They decided, no, man, let's play the ball
Yeah.
on the wing.
Yeah.
Caught them
Yeah.
sleeping.
Yeah.
And the ball had to be crossed back.
Yeah. And then when the ball was crossed back, who scored the goal, by the way? It was Matimbani.
Ribeiro.
Ribeiro.
Lucas Ribeiro, yes.
Who was marking Ribeiro? And why was he not being marked?
Sundowns was too smart. They went and stretched that defense.
Yeah.
The ball came from the
Sideways.
left.
Yeah.
They were expecting it to go through the middle.
Yes.
It was stretched to the other side.
other side.
Now they are found square.
Yeah.
There's no sweeper.
Yeah.
Now,
No, the ball
who's
is-
marking who?
Yeah.
Who's organizing the defense? And
Yeah.
everything is moving fast. We've got
Yeah.
creative players who are
Yeah.
attacking at Kaizer Chiefs. That's what happened.
Sure.
They were stretched at the back, and
Yeah.
now nobody knows where
Yeah.
to stand. Should I go to the guy who's got the ball?
Yeah.
Should I stay with the guy
Yeah.
who's dangerous?
Do I mark the zone?
To do zonal marking.
Yeah.
And there was only a few seconds to decide.
Yeah.
There was no time to communicate. That's why I'm saying that Chiefs defense will gel with time,
Yeah.
but they got a dangerous team with
Yeah.
creative players who had a plan to stretch that defense. When you open up a defense,
Yeah.
there's always gaps in between. And that's what happened.
And surely they did take advantage of that, as we saw Ribeiro scoring that goal and breaking the hearts of Amakosi. uThisha weDiski, that was unbelievable. I think one of the players that Mamelodi Sundowns go for goals is none other than Ribeiro.
Yes, I mean he scored.
prolific
When we
as
spoke, me and Len in the previous show before the game of
Yes.
the Sundowns, we
Yeah.
said we see both these teams are free scoring.
Yeah.
And I even asked him, who do you think is going to score? And Ribeiro.
Yeah. The name
came up.
Yeah.
Romero Mascot.
Yeah.
But before it, let's not run away from the facts.
Yeah.
Uguti Chiefs
Yeah.
outplayed the Sundowns.
Yeah.
In the game. Let's not run away from the facts.
for-
The Chiefs outplayed the
I would say
Sundowns.
it depends on how you look at it.
If we look, it depends how you look. Okay, so I guess
it depends on how you're watching the game and what was going through you.
no. It's Sundowns one on scoreboard. If you go to the scoreboard,
Yeah.
Sundowns. Or maybe I'm talking from the emotions of, remember the previous game, it was a 5-1.
Yeah.
I'm going to say about come to this game now, it's a 2-1. Of which that game again, I'm going to say, is this the base of, was it onside, was it offside? But if you watch the game, I think Sundowns was found in 6s and 7s for majority of the game. Chiefs actually, they played well into the game. I guess, but it's football. Football will humble you. It's not always the best team on the day that actually wins.
Oh, that's uThisha weDiski there breaking it down for us in saying Kaizer Chiefs stretched Mamelodi Sundowns. Let me hear what Len has to say about that. Len, uThisha weDiski is saying Mamelodi Sundowns was in 6s and 7s, in 7s. But one thing that I know about Mamelodi Sundowns, they are so smart when they approach a game. They know when to press. They know when to absorb the pressure. They know how to stretch you from left to right. They just, you know what? It's a mean machine.
When you look at a team like Sundowns, they go into each game with a different strategy, depending on who they're playing against.
Especially
in
now
this
with,
game,
with Umanqoba,
yes. In this game against Kaizer Chiefs, we saw Kaizer Chiefs in the 2 previous matches before this one. They were attacking the whole match. Then you find a team like Sundowns. They will let you attack, but they will make sure they will absorb all that pressure. But as soon as you don't convert your chances, that's where you have problems. Are you blaming the midfield for not passing on time? Are you blaming the Shibabiro for missing chances? But then now the Sundowns plan comes into play now, where you are playing to attack only, you forget to defend.
But
then
Sundowns. uThisha weDiski is saying Kaizer Chiefs outplayed Mamelodi Sundowns.
I say
that's the first statement.
Sundowns plan work.
And then if I take a look at the man of the match, uThisha weDiski, the man of the match was a goalkeeper. What does that say? When the man of the match is a goalkeeper.
No, when Ulen Maikulumane, I like the facts. He says it's Sundowns. They're playing well. They're playing well against the team that they're going to be facing. So like he said, which they watched the Chiefs. Chiefs was on fire for the previous 2 games. So now, but they knew with that 5-1 they had in the previous game. It won't happen in this game. Hence they were so excited when they actually got the 3 points.
They
got the 3 points by winning 2-1. Because they knew they were facing a great team. And also to Sundowns, big ups to Manqoba. The inclusion of Urivado Ukotsia made a difference. Made a difference. With him being there with 5, it made a difference. Him and Williams, they won in Sundowns that game. That goes to show with that pressure, with how much pressure Chiefs was putting on the Sundowns. So actually in football one, I mean we're spoiled for fun. We had a great game. In Sundowns, if you're gonna say Sundowns playing well, yes they did play well because they're going there for the 3 points and they were able to get the 3 points. And for Chiefs, not all is lost. I mean they played well, not all is lost. The performance was great, but you're not gonna win all your matches.
But that was a very, very big test for Unabi. I think he now has got a taste of how South African football is, and now he's got a taste of how Mamelodi Sundowns, with the champions, play.
He knows his players better now.
He knows his players is better, and that magnitude of games. Do you think going forward, maybe Kaizer Chiefs will be forced to be reckoned with in the top 3 or top 4?
Kaizer Chiefs will improve with the coach they have and the players that they've acquired. Top 3, top 4, I would say they can make it there. But looking they can make it there. They can make it there. Luckily for them, they're not playing in Africa. They only have to concentrate on the local competitions. So for this season, I expect big improvement from Kaizer Chiefs. I think the fans will still be satisfied, though they know they can't expect trophies yet. Give him another season, then we can talk trophies.
Okay, that's Amakosi for you. Ulen is saying they've made the necessary changes to make sure that they're forced to reckon with in South African football. Before I wrap this one here, before we get into the Pirates and Steelers game, uThisha weDiski, the second goal for Kaizer Chiefs, last minute, last few seconds, disallowed. What's your take on that?
Look, when I saw for the first time, when I saw that goal for the first time, I thought,
dying minutes, dying
it's
seconds.
a goal.
Yeah.
Well planned.
Last move of the match.
Last move of the game. Well planned. I mean, guy is clear. Onside. He's clear. Onside. He headers the ball. It's a goal.
Yeah.
But now, when you watch replay, you see there's a foul.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a foul.
Yeah.
And if you go to the highlights again and you revisit that play, you notice with the referee actually blew the whistle before the ball actually got to the head.
weDiski, if I may ask, there were two fouls that I had question marks on. All right. Prior to that foul, there was a header by Castillo. Yes. Where he headed the ball, it ended that it was punched away by goalkeeper. It was saved. Ne? But there was a defender there. We had a very big size 10 foot in his face. Yes. That wasn't said to be a foul by the referee. As we continue the conversation on the officiating of football in Mzansi, the referee didn't blow to say it's an infringement on Castillo. It was a very, very close one. Yes. All right. Now the dying minutes, we have Lebusa. Lebusa, with all his experience on the African continent, he knew that any touch on him in that 18-yard box is going to be a foul. Correct. So all he had to do was to run a little bit, stand, and then they touched him. It was a foul. So how is it possible? I mean, what's your take on that? There's one side of Mamelodi Sundowns, Lebusa being fouled in the penalty box, and Castillo having a big boot in his face in the penalty box, but one is judged and the other one is not judged. So how does it work?
Look, I get it. That all now brings that conversation of VAR. Yeah. Do we need VAR in the PSL or we don't need? Yes. Because remember now, referee has to go on instinct. Yes, there are laws, but guys, let's be fair. You cannot expect the referees to know all those 1,000 laws that there are in football. Yeah. So his decision is going to be based on instinct, and he's going to have a split second. So when that play happens, he's watching the game. Do I blow now or don't I blow? Yeah, sometimes we'll get it right. Yeah. Which it's the majority of the time, but sometimes we will get it wrong. At Tina, we can sit down here on a Monday or on a Tuesday after the game is taking place, and we discuss and we show the faults or the wrongdoings of the ref. He didn't have that luxury of checking those things. Exactly. We have to Google the laws. To be fair, we Google the laws. If it doesn't have that second to Google the laws, we have to Google. He doesn't have that thing to Google the laws. Yes, you may say, you must know the laws. That's why he's ref, but he's human. And human errors happen. At these human errors make soccer or football fun. Team benefits. So when your team benefits, enjoy. Just know it's some other thing that will not benefit.
You also benefit. I think I remember some time back where there was a discussion and some of the big coaches in Mzansi football were saying Kaizer Chiefs is always benefiting, a penalty, a set piece and so on. Are we seeing that unfolding in the current season, Mr. Len?
I wouldn't say that. I would say firstly, let's give props to the referee for making that decision in the dying moments of the match. Because if you look at the build-up, everyone in the end expected that move to result in a goal. It almost did. But with the refs that we've been blaming for offsides and all that during the match, at that critical time, he could have just let it go. But now he used the laws, meaning he could have made mistakes during the match, but he gradually grew into the match and made that critical decision. Nobody wants to make that decision. Another ref would have just let that go. Taking you back to the previous one where the defender used his foot while Castillo was heading the ball. He was still smart there as a ref. How much contact that was there? If there was contact. Yes, the foot was high. But how much contact? Did it distract Castillo from heading the ball? No, it didn't. And we always say, let the ref, let the match flow. And it did.
But Mr. Len, when I saw that foot, and I think I was watching this game in some sports place there, everyone just jumped up and said, goal, no, penalty.
Yes.
I guess
you are right. We're jumping up to say goal. But if it doesn't happen, you look at why it didn't happen. So how can you make two decisions at the same time? And decisions which are contradicting each other. So that's thinking from the heart, not looking at the match.
No, thank you very much for that. It's decisions, and some of these decisions have to be taken in a split second. Now let's quickly take a look at the second game yet again. The officials and the referees are on the spotlight. Abongile Tom. he's not new to controversy. I think some time back he was suspended for more or less a similar offense. And this time he found himself officiating in the final of the MTN 8, whereby, by the way, Orlando Pirates managed to win that one. uThisha weDiski, there, Avongile Tom, foot.
Look, Afkalela, Bongile Tom was chosen to ref this game because he is regarded as the best referee that we have. Hence, that's why he was given the go-ahead to ref the game. He's human. I'm a human error will happen. I'm a human error will happen. Do not find out. Do not find out about this game. We have to look at. There's two incidents. Both play. I'll say play or have the same impact. We people are talking about the Pirates goal that happened in the 90th minute. Why don't we go back and talk about the first goal that happened in the first few minutes? Why don't we talk about that goal? Both. I'll say both are mistakes. Both are mistakes. But it's human error. He went with his instincts to allow flow, to allow the game to play. But at the end, when we sit down and we watch the highlights, we realize, he made a blunder. You look at Stellenbosch. The Stellenbosch goal. What was the Pirates goal? The goal comes from a resulted. One was a throw-in, one was a set piece. The ball is not been taken from where the incident happened. It's a throw-in. The guy gives himself an extra 4 or 5 meters to take the throw. He gets advantage because he's moving closer to the box. His throw now becomes like a corner. He's close to the box now. And it resulted in a goal. Pirates was hard done by that. It resulted in a goal. First few minutes, you get an early goal, it distracts you, your mentality. You had a plan now with how you're going to approach the game. So Stellenbosch now has got a goal. The whole plan changes now. Pirates now must readjust. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Pirates goal. Now, how does the Pirates goal come about? It's a foul. Yes, we agree it's a foul. Fukeng. We have to give Fukeng props. Fukeng takes the ball, quick play. Unless we're talking about
that's the type of football we play.
I'm just talking about fast play. We want the ball to flow. We want the ball, the match to flow. He takes the play quick, puts his hand on the ball to stop the ball, and plays it fast. It results in a goal. Now the problem is, did he get advantage? Did he play the ball from where the foul occurred? The answer is no. The answer is no. So Abongile Tom was supposed to blow the whistle. He got it wrong. But now you like stadium square and who's attacking? It's Pirates. Square my fans with Pirates. Now it's do I blow or do I let it go?
What's funny is that the referee was standing where the foul happened. But he couldn't blow his whistle.
And you know, most of the time, the referees will run to where the foul is, and then they lift up their hand to say, this is where you're going to take the foul. But he just let everything flow.
What I'd like to know is, if you've noticed the post-match interviews, they speak to the players, they speak to the coaches about everything that happened during the match. But the men who made that decision, or who made that mistake, we're talking about refs. Who do the refs account to? Because that was a big game. It changed. That goal changed everything about the match. It could have gone to extra time, which would have made it even more fun for everyone. You understand? Now, who do the refs account to? That's what I'm trying to understand. Yes, if there was a missiles thrown onto the field, or if a player manhandled the ref, or the coach swore at the ref, that is put on the post-match report by the referee. When do the refs take accountability? Do they put that on their post-match report that I made a mistake?
Or maybe the body that they need to report to must surely institute an investigation to find out
that raised questions for me.
What transpired?
But also, I think it's to protect if Len as a chairman.
Let's protect football, not the referee.
Let's do this, okay? Len as a chairman. I'm going to Tom. You're the owner of Studies. Okay, let's not use Studies in the Pirates. Let's just use a general game. A referee makes a mistake that causes you a game. It causes you a trophy. It causes you a league. It causes a cup game. And he comes up to you and says, I admit, I take responsibility. It was my fault. Will you heal as a chairman?
Okay, it doesn't change what happened. I understand that. Hence, I'm asking the question, who do they account to, so that in future we avoid these problems. How to avoid these problems? When are the refs chosen? How are they? What is the criteria for choosing a ref for a certain match? And how are the refs promoted? Maybe from the lower divisions up to the PSL. We need to understand those things, because if you notice, we're having the same. I'm sorry to call this to use the word culprit. We're having the same guys making the same mistakes in the biggest games.
And
so
saying that,
are these the only refs that we have?
And saying that, Mr. Len, I've read a lot of comments on social media.
Yes.
And one of the words that keep on propping up, Ijojo. Ijojo.
How much are they getting paid? Are they getting paid enough?
Yeah, so I went on to check now the salaries on how the referees are paid. I think it's something like 6,400 per game times 4 games or 5 games, depending on how many weekends. So it can be anything between
15 and 20K
15, 20, maybe 25K, somewhere there. But surely it's a game. It's an MTN8 game, whereby the winner takes home about 10 million. I think 10 million is it? Yeah, it is. It was increased to 10 million. Surely we can do 50 buff. As an exam, 50. It's going to make a big difference. But my follow-up statement is: do you think the brown envelope does have an influence on South African football?
I wouldn't know much about it. Especially in the professional level. Because it's a touchy, it's a sensitive topic.
1632. 1632.
It happens. In Malokshini, it happens. Also, the refs need to know what games they're looking at. If you're going to judge a match where it's a speedy team and a physical team, he needs to do his homework. You know how these teams play. Before the match, you call the captains in. I know uThisha weDiski is a very hard defender. Speak to that guy. I don't want to keep blowing the whistle. Tell him to behave. Referees like Pierluigi Collina, he went to the World Cup. 2 giant nations are playing at the World Cup. He calls all the big names. I know you're a diver. Don't mess up my game. I need this game to flow. There's a billion people watching all over the world. Let the people have fun. I think these referees lack also big match temperament.
Exactly.
They make silly mistakes, which can cost lives. You know how personal supporters
very
get.
Sensitive.
So also we need to look at how do we improve the standard of refereeing. Are we going VAR? Who's going to do VAR? Because it's also run by a human being who can also make mistakes.
Thank you very much for that one. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be taking a look at, as Len said, how to improve the game in South African football. Do we take the route of VAR or we just continue the way it is? Stay tuned. You are still watching the Diski Preview Show Roundtable. We're having fun in the studio with the super faces of the Diski Preview Show. I'm still having Olen here and uThisha weDiski. I still having here. The gentleman by the name Mo still hasn't arrived. But we're waiting for him just in case he comes. We'll be able to talk to him off, which I don't think so. Anyway, let's now take a look at our next topic, the need for VAR. Mr. Len, you said maybe VAR will be able to improve the level of football in South Africa.
Every improvement has its advantages and disadvantages. We've seen overseas, some teams have complained about VAR, but we need it. We need to move with the times. The Minister of Sport, Keaton McKenzie, had a meeting, Dr. Ivan Khoza, Danny Jordan. What's the plan after that Sundowns match? At least now there is light at the end of the tunnel regarding VAR. Yes, the only problem, I think they're trying to sort out the finances and the personnel that will use it, where they're going to be trained and all that. It might take some time. But he was convinced that the plan is in motion.
Taking a look at the finances involved, I did a little bit of my research. I understand it costs something like 70,000 to host a match under VAR. Don't you think that's going to further dig into the coffers of South African football?
To move with the times. And to avoid such problems, I would say we have to spend this money. Because we've been complaining about this since when?
Okay, but what about small teams that don't have a very huge takings? Let's say maybe let's just say maybe Marumo Gardens is playing against Royal AM. I wouldn't expect them to have a sold out a match or affair. Do you think they'll be able to absorb that type of a cost?
The associations like USAFA, PSL, and the government. I'm thinking the meeting that they had to take that into consideration. If teams have to be assisted financially to improve the game, you're not improving Pirates, Chiefs, Sundowns. We're improving soccer as a whole. Teams have to be assisted in such situations so that the whole league is run professionally, not the elite few.
Yeah, most certainly. The league has to be run professionally. uThisha, weDiski, what's your take on the proposal to introduce VAR into South African football?
No, like Ulen just said, going with the times. I mean, everyone else is doing it. If you look at your top 5 leagues, they're doing it. But it goes now to, the question is now, let's say Bafana was to go and play England. Question, will there be VAR? Yes. If England has VAR, they will be there. But now, Bafana won't be used to VAR. Never. So already now it becomes a challenge on its own. So with us not having VAR, it shows we just step back compared to the other big countries. And we need to step up. I mean, the level of football that we see displayed in PSL, it's excellent. That's why we are even able to attract people from Brazil. We have Brazilians playing in PSL. We have guys from Uruguay playing in the PSL. It goes to show.
How big the league is.
South Africa or the PSL is a league to go to. So yes, we do need it. And another thing, as Ulen said, we need advantage, need disadvantage. We still see mistakes where there is VAR. So bringing VAR, it doesn't mean all the problems will be solved.
Because
we still see mistakes,
still
but
that
there'll be
element of a human being
at
the
back.
So those human mistakes,
they will still be less.
They will be improved with time.
With time. Also with that delay. I mean, I understand with why countries, associations were crying with VAR. That delay. Now imagine referee going to the VAR now every 15 minutes now.
From that game.
Exactly. Mascati ni attack. You have that momentum.
2 minutes.
We used to call it the beautiful game. Now it's going to be called the beautiful technological game.
So like I said, earlier on, sometimes those mistakes they make football. Sometimes you benefit, sometimes you don't benefit. Yes, when your team is not benefiting, but it's part of football. But since everyone has VAR, we also need to implement it.
What do you think about the introduction of VAR on South African, or rather in South African football? Do you think that's going to work best to improve the football, or it will not? Please let us know in the comment section. We want to know what your thoughts are, as well as what you think about the game between Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates and Steelers. Do you think something must be done to those referees, especially Abongile Tom? It's the second time he's been on the spotlight. Now let's quickly take a look at the next topic that we have for you today. It's the rise of the underdogs as we look at those teams that never used to be big, but somehow they're making an impact on South African football. And maybe we're going to start off with Ulen here. What do you think about the underdogs in this current season, Mr. Len?
I'm looking at a team like Steelers. Do we still call them underdogs?
No.
Because these guys have changed the complexion of the league. And I would take it down to coach Steve Barker. The way they use their funds. They're winning uThisha challenge. They're promoting the same boys. They're not going out there to buy a new team. Yes, they are grooming players. They're selling them at a big profit. And they still have continuity from their uThisha challenge development team, which is winning. And then they play the same style as the PSL side, which is a stroke of genius from that team. Even if you're removing Reyners, you still have another Reyners.
Who's going to come in?
And they're playing the same style. Nothing has changed. I would say big ups to this team. Now they are going to Africa. They need depth in their squad. The only concern I have is too many youngsters, and you're going to be competing in Africa, the traveling, the fatigue, the different conditions. Are they ready for that? But this is the one team that I've seen big improvement on, comparing all these so-called smaller teams.
Yes. uThisha weDiski. It's Stelis.
Big ups, like Len said, to everyone Len said, bigs up yesterday's. I mean, they're doing well.
Yeah.
It shows what is not only fluke, what
Yeah.
they're doing so well in the PSL. It starts in the grassroots.
The grassroots, yeah.
If your uDiski Challenge team is doing so well,
Yeah.
of course, the big team or the first team is also
Yeah.
going to do
And
so well.
it will benefit
But
from
also,
that.
you are
Yeah.
saying coach, grab to coach, but Yasmin, I'm saying who?
Yeah.
Chairman.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I chairman, football is a sport, but
Yeah.
actually it's a business.
Yes,
also.
it is.
The
Yeah,
guy
the
is able
business
to run. He's a businessman.
Yeah.
He's able to run his business smoothly. And once you run your business smoothly, I'm an
Yeah.
investment. I'm a profit.
Yeah.
He's gonna be hitting in profits because you gotta spend
Yeah.
to get.
Yeah.
He's spending. Ukuthi ngoba he's silently. I don't say when he's silent in a sense of what his Stellenbosch is doing so well, but they don't have a large number of supporters. So
Yeah.
that's why you're only hearing a lot of noises
Yeah.
with Stellenbosch. But again, like that other team that's doing so well now,
Yeah.
they also started small. They didn't have many supporters. And it's like, but supporters left
Yeah.
the team
Yeah.
to go to that team. I see the same thing happening
Yeah, with Stellenbosch.
Stellenbosch
Yeah.
also. Just also with Manje, I'm praying for consistency.
Yeah,
If they
yeah,
can be able to
definitely.
pull up consistency.
Yes.
Because yes, they need to make profits because
Yeah.
it's a business.
Yeah.
But this thing of selling too many players, they
Yeah.
must be careful. We
Yeah.
then spoke about it debt. It's still early days now.
Yeah.
The question still arises.
Yeah.
Will they not miss Uranus?
Yeah.
Let's
Most
say they do
certainly.
well now. They go to confederation, they go to the
Yeah.
knockout stages now, they pass the
Yeah.
group stages.
Yeah.
Will they not miss?
Miss Uranus.
Uranus.
And talking about consistency, uThisha weDiski, we've seen underdogs coming on to perform very well in the PSL. uThisha weDiski, we're talking about the likes of Royal AM. They would give the likes of Kaizer Chiefs, Pirates, and a big fight. But where are they now?
I think it all boils down to this thing of not understanding what line of business you're in. I mean, if you're in line of business of soccer,
Yeah.
you gotta have
Yeah.
a background or a knowledge
Officer.
of is soccer.
I was referring to
business.
lady.
No, look, I'm just saying. If you're not,
The chairman. Yeah, but obviously the chairman reports to her, so there must be a problem there.
no, if you wanna go to we'll go to Royal M. Let's
Yeah.
start with Imamule Sundowns.
Yeah.
Sundowns is doing so well. You know, with a former chairman, or you can still call him chairman, Umtsepe.
Yeah.
You know what position he has now.
Yeah.
Manje.
Okay.
Okay, showing Uguti he has little love or passion or little knowledge
football.
of soccer
Yeah.
or football. That's why he's able to get so it's easy for him to run Sundowns easily. I mean, he had a vision
Yeah.
of which many of us didn't see it.
Yeah.
Pele Sundowns, a team
Yeah.
if you look at Sundowns is a team from long ago.
Yeah.
But look, they progress so much that each team itself has progressed.
Yeah.
The Mutsepe family themselves have progressed
Yeah.
because they understand
Yeah.
with what line
Yeah.
are they in.
Yeah.
If Sundowns goes on to buy a player for 50 million,
Yeah.
the social media makes noise.
Yeah.
Hey, it's so wrong. Hey, it's not money in. Do you know with Sundowns understanding what line of business they're in, they knew they're going to get their money back.
Yeah.
But
Because
people billion, man.
there's a
They got a return
Yeah,
of
but-
those investments, of which
Yeah.
teams were a bit scared
Yeah.
to do that. But look what
I
Sundowns is
take the
doing now.
risk?
Sundowns
Yeah.
now have led.
Yeah.
Now teams
I
are
think,
watching.
I think also Kaizer Chiefs, I think over these years, they didn't want to buy quality players. They relied on, not big names. But this time around, they opened their checkbook, Mr. Len. They went on to bring players from overseas and so on. But look at where they are right now. But coming back to Royal AM,
Yes.
this is my worry. When Royal AM used to be big, when Royal AM would compete with the likes of Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns, yeah, Andile
Yes.
couldn't even make the first 11 or he bench.
Yes.
But now that he can make the first 11, what does that say about the quality of football or at Royal AM? What exactly is happening
There's
there?
problems there. The main problem, yes, he plays nicely. I like the way he plays.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, he wasn't in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
When they were doing well.
Yeah.
The problem they're having is they can let players go.
Yeah.
But they can't buy players because
Yeah.
of the FIFA ban.
Yeah.
It takes you back to what Umbo just said. uThisha weDiski
Yeah.
just mentioned now.
Yeah.
You need to have the passion, the knowledge,
Yeah.
at least the background.
Yeah.
If you don't have that,
Yeah.
have the right people at
Who
the right
advise you?
places.
Yeah.
Look at what Sundowns have been doing.
Yeah.
Most of their structures
Yeah.
are run by former players.
Yeah.
you can't run the whole ship on your own. You need departments. What are they doing at Royal AM? That's my main concern, because all you know is Umamkize.
Coach
and then the chairman. You understand? You never hear anything from John Matuka. Who's doing what there? Who's making the decisions at which departments? I think that's the main problem they're having. They started off well, flashing notes during matches. Everyone was having fun. But now the real business starts where your second season is the hardest. Your first season, nobody knows how you play. They can't plan against you. Your second season, they buy some of your good players, and now
they weaken you.
Yes. How do you replace them? Do you have the right people? Were you scouting from other teams? If I'm selling Mr. E, who is going to take his place? Do I have a youngster who can maybe be groomed for another year? Do they have development structures? I'm not sure. I think that's where the problem is. It's a big firm running a soccer team. The game has changed. It's a business. So they need to have the right people in the right places. Right now,
I can tell you right now, something is simply wrong.
If you remember, if we step back a bit, if you remember how Royal M got the status, remember how Royal M is supposed to be
they bought
You see how they were able to get. I've always said when we had this kind of round tables, with this thing of buying and selling status, it's killing football. If you're gonna have a team that's buying status, what are you seeing now?
How many times are we going to change statuses?
So you see the problem that I have with buying a status is that you don't take, as you are saying, that you need a passion of this game. You need a little bit of knowledge on how this game is played. If you're a former player, well, it's good. But now the problem is simply because maybe you've got the money, you might not put a lot of effort in it, because even if you get relegated, you can always bounce back by or you can just open your checkbook and buy another status, then you are back.
But that is killing our football.
Exactly.
Now you are buying a
team.
Says. Yes, you had a team that was relegated. What happens to those guys' jobs when I'm Kaizer Chiefs? I get relegated. I buy status to Orlando Pirates. What happens to the players that I had at Chiefs? What happens to the players that I find at Pirates? Somebody's going to lose their jobs. We're killing the economy, we're killing the football.
And you're not actually growing those players. None of them is growing.
Yes, your name is growing, but your brand will never grow.
It will never grow. Talking about uThisha weDiski, the acquisition of Bloemfontein Celtic by Royal AM. There is another team, Marumo Gallants, back into the field, into the PSL. The first few games, ayingathi kunzima for u-10 ayingathi kunzima
again sikhuluma ngale nto yokuthenga ama-status.
How many times are they bouncing back?
They've always been bouncing back. I've lost count. I don't even know who they bought.
For a team to stay in the PSL, they need to work, they need to earn their place with PSL. You look at a newly promoted team like Imakesi. Imakesi bafukuzile ku-NFD. They played well. Imakesi is not going anywhere. Next season, they'll still be playing in the PSL because they know the hustle. Digging for results. Go NFD. They know you don't just buy your status. If a team is relegated, go and grind with NFD.
Yes.
Your motivation. The minute you're relegated and you go to NFD, your salary drops. That salary dropping should be your motivation. With next season, we want to go back.
Hey, we are focused. NFD, I was focused.
And your place. I said, Swallows today. We spoke of Swallows. I said, Swallows.
The whole country was happy.
But Swallows, I deserve. People thought I was wrong. I'm talking nonsense about Swallows. Swallows, guys, if you're going to keep on buying Amastitaz and you're not earning your place, it just means you're not understanding the whole concept of football or the whole concept of football and business in general. That's why you're going to keep on going.
Now, what are the rules in local football about buying statuses? I think we need to start having rules.
I think we
are playing with livelihoods of players here. You understand? Also, I'm thinking, yes, they've got the money in the bank. Do they have a vision for this team?
I think saying that, Mr. Len, I think in England.
Yes.
When was the last time you heard that the status was bought by a PSL, a Premier League team?
You understand? Why do you have that? Teams have vision. There's teams that know. I'm Aston Villa. if I make the top 10 with the resources that I have, that's my vision. You come back to South Africa, look at Golden Arrows. They're consistent. They have a vision. They know they are not Sundowns. They know they're not Chiefs. They know they're not Pirates. Their vision is there. If they make a top 8 final, yes, it's a bonus. But if they make the top 8, that's their target with the resources they have. You cannot start a new team and have the same vision with the team that was established in 1937. Some teams don't have a vision. They beat Kaizer Chiefs, they draw with Sundowns, they knock Pirates out of the Nedbank Cup, they think they can win the league. Your vision is based on the resources you have.
Over a period of time.
Yes, you look at Kaizer Chiefs. How many sponsors do they have? You only have 3 sponsors and $a million in the bank. You want to compete with Kaizer Chiefs. You can beat them on the day. But a league is a marathon. Can you be consistent enough? Do you have the right resources? How experienced is your coach? Is he a Nabi? Is he a John Matuka? Those things come into play.
No, don't mention John Matuka. Ibrahim. maybe 10
I respect all of them.
If 10 sees me, my body is gonna kill me once. That's the one in the studio with the super faces of the Diski preview show. That's Len and uThisha weDiski. Tisha weDiski, you didn't remind our viewers there to comment, like, and subscribe. I just like the way you do it yourself, because you do it in style. You do it in fine fashion.
Guys, if you guys are enjoying the video, please click on the like button. And you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscription button. You're hearing Len is dropping bombs, as Mo would call it. He's dropping bars.
2.5 bars, Baba.
Student of the game.
But you know there's a team that's been doing what the team like Royal M are doing, but they're getting away with it. You know which team is that?
Richards Bay.
No, not Richards Bay. The team that's number 1 on the log.
Cheaper.
Cheaper's getting away with it.
They need to screenshot that log.
They want to top the log, but they're getting away
The
with
reason
it.
why this is happening is because he stopped firing coaches week in, week out.
Who's the coach for Egypt? Is it Dan? Or Dan will be coach next month?
Dan is currently at Marumo Gallants, and Marumo Gallants
as soon as he leaves there, he's going back.
He's going there.
He's going back.
And talking about the movement of coaches, I've seen Uzwane is now on his way to Amazulu, Usutu, as the core coach. 3-4-1. Do you think he's going to survive?
I like him. He's a very good coach. He got to Chiefs at the wrong time. I think that's what
happening.
Yes, and yes, as a player, he was at Chiefs level. As a coach, he's still a youngster. To coach a big team like Chiefs. At Chiefs, they want results, no stories.
Nothing.
Unfortunately for him, he got there at the wrong time. He had to groom and win. You can't do both. You can't be breastfeeding a kid and expect him to run to the shop at the same time. So he's at the right team. I wish him well, no Villagas.
I also wish him very well, and I know Villagas is a very, very good coach. They'll surely put in a very good shift at Amazulu.
It's a good move.
I think with him, it's an
Amazulu
excellent move. Going to Amazulu, there's less expectations. Like a Chiefs. For Chiefs, Umangete didn't do so bad at Chiefs. He was able to groom his young boys. Ozwana in the first team because of Umangete. Ozo, Ongob, because of him. Shabalala, of him. He took those boys and put them in the CAF Champions League final. The only CAF Champions League final Chiefs played, who took them there? Who's one? It's unfortunate because in that game, he wasn't the main man. He wasn't the head coach. Chiefs made a blunder and got up Baxter. And Wepega, he was cooking. Who's one was cooking? You know that pot that he was cooking? Lisaphewa namanje. Uzwane. Unabi got to Chiefs. Guess what Nabi is doing? Is that Chiefs? He's still using
the foundation.
of Uzwane. He's using Uzwane's foundation. And Uzwane is not getting the credit. It's a pity Uzwane is not getting that recognition.
Talking about underdogs again, Tisha weDiski. Okay, fine, we're done with Kaizer Chiefs. Are you sure that Magesi is going to... No. Wait. We're talking about underdogs. Fine, we are done with Kaizer Chiefs, the big dogs. We're talking about underdogs here. Yes. Imakesi, do you think they'll survive relegation this year?
Definitely. I'm saying they'll survive.
That's the first
Imakesi, they have a win already.
Okay.
Unlike some teams, they have a win.
Right.
And they were able to beat Golden Arrows. A team that was in form. before that loss against Imakisi.
Okay.
Goes to show with the grind. They grinded very hard, the NFD. So now they're here to stay.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake that they can make, and apparently they don't make, they mustn't have high expectations.
Okay.
For them, just surviving, from them surviving.
It's the first season.
Yeah, season.
Okay.
Yeah. Forget about the top 8.
Yeah, Mr. Len, Richards Bay, are they going to be fighting for relegation again this year?
With Richards Bay, you never know.
Yeah.
They can play their best football
But to Sunday score.
this weekend and win nicely with nice attacking football.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, they disappear.
Yeah.
They are never consistent.
Are they the type of team that only rises to the occasion when they're playing the big teams?
I think that's their main problem.
Yeah.
And then also the structure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on at that team. And if we're talking Makesi, you have a Clinton Larson who's played PSL from its inception.
Yeah.
You understand? He's played for Meaning Rangers. Different style from Pirates. From the way the two teams are run. Different targets for the two teams. He understands the league. He understands the league better. That's the main thing. You need a coach like that who will give you realistic expectations.
Yeah.
Now, the concern is, you look at Clinton Larson. Yes, I'm giving him the props.
Yeah.
He was in the news.
Yeah.
Rumors that Amazulu want him.
They want him, yeah.
What if another team is struggling and they've got the money that Makesi doesn't have?
Yeah.
And he goes to that team where they can pay him more and he's got everything, all the right resources around him. That puts Makesi in a very difficult situation.
Yeah, most certainly. Tisha, weDiski.
It's going to be a long season for these small teams.
Marumo Gallants, do you think it's also going to be a very, very long season for them?
It's going to be a very, very, very long season. You know what, Marumo?
My question would be, are they going to survive a relegation this year?
They won't survive.
I think they're gone.
They're gone already.
They're gone.
One way. We have one of the biggest mistakes in Marumo.
Yeah.
In Marumo bought estates as Bloemfontein.
Yeah.
The minute you buy estates as Bloemfontein, do everything in order.
Yeah.
Do everything accordingly.
Yeah.
Imarumo shouldn't be called Imarumo.
Yeah.
They should be called Bloemfontein Celtics.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Imarumo was called Bloemfontein,
yeah,
Imarumo was going to survive. You know why?
Yeah.
It's sad to watch those passionate fans of. We have to admit, Bloemfontein.
Yeah.
Or Celtic had the most.
Yeah.
They're the most passionate fans.
Yeah.
Those fans are still there. Our border. They're still there.
Without a team.
Without a team, they're still there.
So it's a culture. It's a passion.
It's a culture.
Sundowns land
it's a
from
passion.
Celtic.
From Celtic.
Yeah.
Even in my room,
Yeah.
when they play, those fans, they go out in numbers to go and support. It's a pity,
All
man.
Marumo has to do is to integrate the Bloemfontein Celtic fans into their institution and maybe change the name as you
like
say.
Ulen, like was saying,
Yeah.
like Ulen was saying.
Yeah.
You know what's the problem with Marumo?
Yeah.
Imarumo Gallants has a vision. Yeah. Bloemfontein Celtic fans, they have a vision.
Their own vision.
So there's two visions. A contrast. There's two visions in the thing.
Each other.
They contradict each other.
Yeah. Okay, gentlemen, it's time for me to put your heads on the block right now. We're gonna make friends. We're gonna make enemies. All right. It's time for us to predict who's gonna walk away with the championship
mistake before you
year.
continue. We're making a mistake. There's a team that we're not mentioning, guys. It's Kukune.
It's Kukune. Yeah, well. Yeah,
Skokuni is consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent.
I think Skokuni TS Galaxy have a vision and they're sticking to it.
They're sticking to it.
They're not running anybody else's race. Yeah. They're running their own race and they're satisfied with where they are.
They're fine with what they have.
They're reaching their targets. Yeah. No, we don't know what their targets are. But it's not even surviving. Yeah. They are in the league. They're not surviving. They are living. They are in the game.
Yeah.
And it's working for them. Whatever they're doing right. Bulukwane, throw them into the mix.
Yeah.
They're doing well. Like if you qualify for top 8, you know you have a very big chance of winning a cup. Yeah. Because it's only a few games.
It's only a few games that
Stellies almost did it.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost.
Okay. Yes. Back to my question again. Back to the to your heads on the block. Gentlemen, it's time for the predictions on who's gonna walk away with the championship trophy. Who's gonna win the PSL title this year? I'm going to start with the one and only, uThisha. uThisha weDiski.
who's going to win the title. You know what I can tell you?
Yeah.
I can tell you with the team that's going to win the title.
Yeah.
They won't win the title by more than 5 points.
Okay. Yeah, but who's going to win the title?
I can tell you.
So you're saying it's going to be hotly contested, right?
It's going to be title contested.
Who's the contenders?
Yeah. So who are the contenders? Let's take a look at the top four.
I got four.
In
four. Yeah, in order. I got four in mind.
Yeah.
We cannot run away from the fact that the Steadies is doing well. They'll be there, the contenders.
Yeah.
The Steadies.
Yes.
We could not run away from Pirates.
Yeah.
I was watching a podcast. Ulaine made a podcast,
Yeah.
and his question was, "Who's gonna stop Pirates?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
I've
heard that question
You have
before.
your answer now. You asked that question. Do you have your answer now?
"Who's gonna stop Pirates?"
It's a few games into the PSL season. Do you now have that answer, or still you don't have it?
I think the one thing that's going to stop Pirates is Pirates itself. How?
Yeah.
Can they manage all these matches?
Yeah.
With this squad they have.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Are they that thin?
They haven't been in this situation in a while. They've been building.
Yeah.
They've been winning domestically.
Yeah.
You're playing Champions League. You're in the same group as Al Ahly.
Yeah.
It's not easy playing in Africa, guys. We need to understand that. Yes, maybe they played at development level in Africa. It's a different story with Raja, Al Ahly, and all that.
If you speak about Al Ahly,
when you come back, you now need to face the likes of Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs.
Now you're coming back, you're facing a team that's 15th on the log.
Yeah.
They're fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
And you're tired.
Yeah.
That's
but
the one team that will win this league is Sundowns.
Yeah.
They got everything.
Yeah.
When I say everything, they got the experience.
Okay,
as a team.
Len, I'm going to come back to you. You already are saying it's Sundowns. Can I have your top four in any order?
my top four in order, I'm not we spoke about Pirates.
Yes.
Is Sundowns.
You'll
be not knowing football if you're not going to come
Sundowns.
Sundowns.
Pirates, you said Steelies, now we have
Sundowns.
Okay.
And the last one, we cannot run from facts. Yes, they lost the last game.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs is there.
If
you saw the performance,
okay,
the
thank
Chiefs
you
is
very
there.
much.
So those are the top four.
Now, out of these top four, who's going to make it? Who's going to make the cut?
I think we'll be top four.
Should
you put
whoever's going to win the league won't win the league by more than 5 points.
Which one is that?
That was going to be Sundowns.
Okay, so Sundowns
but by less than 5 points.
By less than 5 points. That's what uThisha weDiski. You have already said Orlando Pirates is going to win the league.
No,
Who are your
Sundowns
other three,
is going to win the league.
That will make the top four?
Sundowns will win the league.
Okay, Sundowns will win the league.
I'd give Pirates second.
Second.
And
Pirates.
another trophy, probably.
Yeah, and then the other two.
I don't see Steelies in the top four.
All right.
I'd put Chiefs in the top four.
Yeah, the fourth and final.
I like Polokwane.
Yeah, rise and shine. Hey, those are the sentiments of the super faces of the Diski preview show. uThisha weDiski is saying Mamelodi Sundowns is going to run away with the league again this year. Okay, he's going to.
They'll walk away.
Okay, they will walk away.
They're walking away. They're walking away.
And those are the same sentiments with Ulen again. He's saying Mamelodi Sundowns is going to win the title Izotata E-League. I would like to thank you very much for tuning into this exciting episode of the Diski Preview Show Roundtable. My name is yours truly, Mr. E. Until next time.